Alright, I seem to be live. Everything seems to be working fine, so it's time to get to work. Alright. First thing, when I draw the player, oh, that's odd. Is the color supposed to be 0? Oh wait, this is just the box. I don't need that. There we go. I didn't like that red box that was being drawn around the player. I had that for some reason at some point. Checking transparency issues. Alright, so I need to work on polygon editing. Because right there I just wanted to drag it around and I accidentally made an extra vertex. And then the selection messes up when you add a new vertex. So that's weird. Oh my god, the horror. Yep, the horror. And I guess I should draw, well, yeah, maybe I should draw these red dots after the lines so that you can see them even if they're underneath. Good idea. Let's see. Editor. Where do I draw you? All the way down here. Alright. So, triangle fan points. The points are drawn afterwards. Maybe it's just the depth then. Will that do it? Ah, now the points are drawn in front of the blue polygon. Lovely. My tea's just finished heating up on my water to make tea, anyway. Just had to adjust my microphone there. Okay. So, something's going terribly wrong with adding vertices to polygons. I think I need to rethink the approach. Perhaps... Ooh. How to do it. How to do it. This is making the new vertex, isn't it? No, that's resizing menus. What am I thinking? Where's making the new vertex? Must be in the click event. Alright, yeah. So... vertex dragging... or deleting a vertex. I would love to be able to see this code properly. Oh well. So this is where I'm adding a new vertex. I feel like 10 is too much. Also, what am I doing here? Oh, yeah. I'm figuring out. So I click somewhere inside the polygon. Find the nearest edge. That's what the nearest edge point. That's what this minimum translation vector will give me. Then find the two vertices whose edge connects or intersects with this point, and add the vertex at that point in the array of vertices. So we resize polygons, the polygon, to hold one more vertex. Then we add one to the top and shift all of the vertices to the right in the array. And set the new vertex. And it seems to set in the correct place, even though this is kind of spaghetti code. Because I'm just drawing a line between the two. I'm looping through every vertex, drawing a line between it and the next vertex, including looping around. Although v is less than size doodle doodle plus 1. That should be. Yeah, I wasn't checking the last vertex with the first one, that edge. Don't think that will fix the problem though, maybe it will. So we should be able to click right there, add a vertex, vertex. See, right here it doesn't add one. The collision polygon gets messed up somehow. Even though it's still a convex polygon. Somehow clicking up here, it thinks it's outside of the polygon now. But that worked. Whoa, and then I just crashed. So what the hell is happening? If not vertex dragging, then I think I need to get rid of all this for now and just draw a dot when I'm going to create a new vertex. And that would allow me to identify when it's detecting, yes, I will make a new vertex here, and when it's not. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay, so polygons intersect MTV. So this just checks if the mouse is within the polygon. And then this is if the minimum translation vector is less than 10. Oh, is that it? I think I got a closing bracket in the wrong spot. So I think, yeah, I was checking if the mouse was inside the polygon. Then I was checking if it was close to the edge. And then I was going outside the scope of checking if the mouse was inside the polygon before doing this, which is Wait, what is this? Isn't this the... Wait, isn't this the same thing? Did this code get copy-pasted somehow? Resize plus top. Polygon I equals I minus 1. What the hell? If not click handled. P equals 0. P is there some polygons. New vertex. This shouldn't... Shouldn't I just have this? Right here. And then if I don't handle the click, then selected polygon is set to -1. I've got an extra bracket somewhere, don't I? Or did I not? Maybe I'm getting confused by this view here. I think it's all fine. Yeah. P undeclared. Over here. Wait. If we already have a polygon selected, then we're out of it. Otherwise, well, if we still haven't handled the click, then if we have selected a polygon and this is so weirdly written. I've definitely made mistakes here. So if we're not dragging a vertex, then we can go into possibly creating a new vertex. Then if we've selected a polygon, then we check the intersection, and if it's close to the edge, I should perhaps change that to 5. Then we create a new vertex. Otherwise, deselect all polygons, or deselect the polygon. Then loop through all polygons. I can just break instead of checking this. I can break right here. Why am I checking this? New vertex. So that definitely shouldn't be there. That was totally weird. Don't know why that was ever written there. And we don't need a minimum translation vector. Whoops. Actually, yeah, so we can get rid of that. Okay, so now we can select our polygon still. If we click near the edge, we can create a new vertex, but we're not creating any new ones. Okay, this all seems to be working. So strange when I can and can't create new vertices, though. Oh, created one there. Is it only along the original edges? Oh, that was odd. Created one all the way over there. Very strange. And we crash. Double free or corruption. Double free, huh? Create a new polygon. We can resize the bugger, make them all diagonal lines. No new vertices. If I make some straight lines, still no new vertices. Oh, managed to create one there. Weird. If I create a new polygon, then can I create vertices? Yep. Weird. As long as I don't move the vertices, I can create all the new... That's not right. That's not right at all. Oh my. See, that's really strange. It's because the minimum translation vector is getting it wrong, of course. Suppose I can always delete it though. At least. Oops. I can create new vertices. But only on unedited lines. So strange. Where are we going wrong with this? Polygons intersect MTV. Polygons select the polygon.index and size of the polygon. I'm going to take my tea leaves out. Need to make the screen invisible for 1 second. Alright. Mouse poly 4, game data chunks polygon, KDO size, chunks polygons. It is getting resized correctly, right? Resize to size +1. Plus the top. And they're still displaying correctly. Perhaps instead of doing this weird calculation. Well, let's see. I was thinking maybe I could... Well, maybe I could. So maybe I could just loop through all of the vertices and order them in a way that makes them convex. Because there wouldn't be multiple ways to do that, would there? They all have to be on the outside and connected to the other ones next to them around the circle. So I'm pretty sure that's a safe thing to do. And then all I would have to do... Yeah, if I could just order the vertices circularly, that would make them convex by default. And if they can't be ordered circularly, then they're not convex. And so if I do that, I can just place the vertex, order them, and then it'll be in the right spot. Yeah, that's good. That's good. So I feel like this should go in a new file somewhere. Let's see. Vec2 maybe? I don't know, that's kind of weird. I don't know where it should go. I'm just going to put it in this file. In fact, I'm going to even put it in this function. No, I want to extract it from this file eventually. So I'll declare it up here. Void, because it's not going to return anything. Polygon order vertices clockwise. And we need a pointer to the vertices and vec2 t and a number of vertices. Alright. So yeah, until we've arranged every vertex. What do we need? An angle. Yeah, angle. Lowest. And, well, angle min. And angle min equals 0. And no, we need an int vertex min equals 0. Okay. So, until we have ordered every vertex. And what else do we need? I guess we can just swap. We can do a swap. So, another int vertices ordered equals 0. So we can just swap this, the vertices ordered number or index vertex with the minimum angle vertex that we find. And this is just going to be a super slow function, but it's only dealing with 6 vertex polygons, so it doesn't need any optimization. And it only happens when you're editing polygons, so no big deal. Okay, so let's see, angle equals, we need to do another for, so actually, while vertices ordered is less than vertices count, then we do angle min equals 0. Whoops. Which means I don't need to initialize it here. And vertex min also equals 0. Then v equals 0, v is less than... Actually, v can start at vertices ordered. V is less than vertices count, because we already know all the vertices with an index lower than vertices ordered are already ordered. Each loop. Then, if... Well, we need to calculate the angle. Angle equals... Now, how do we do this? I need to... I need to open up Critter and visualize this for a moment. I always do best with visual math. Ow. Just dropped my graphics tablet in an unfortunate location. Okay. Alright, that's all working. So... Wish I had a better sketchpad program, but this works well enough. Okay. So if we have... I'll draw the vertices in red. If we have... Why is this so big all of a sudden? What did I accidentally press? What did I do? I'm going to minimize it and... What the heck? So I've accidentally made that float somehow. Go away. Oh, well that made it go away. Okay. So I have some vertices. Visually, as humans, we know how to order these clockwise. So let's just say I start with each vertex. Let's see what math works. So I'm just imagining, it doesn't really matter. I'm just imagining 0 degrees equals that. So how do we find this one? Maybe we start from the center. So we take the average position, or not the average, this is not the average position, because if we had a bunch of vertices over here, then the average position would move. How do we figure this out? Because if I did have a center point, then I could just start with any vertex and then take the minimum angle to the next vertex and the minimum angle to the next vertex and the minimum angle to the next vertex, and that would get me around clockwise or anti-clockwise or whatever I wanted to do. So I could find this center point, but I guess I would have to do something annoying like check all these cross sections until I found a good point. I don't know. Maybe not. But finding this middle point seems annoying. Seems like what I really want to do is start with any vertex. Will it always be the case? Well, in a convex polygon, there will always be an axis where on one side there are no vertices, and on the other side there are all the vertices. Even when we have something really close to the edge, we could just have a small allowance. So you say this goes right through it, so maybe you would count 2 here and many here. And ultimately, you know, if you had a triangle, there could be 1 on this side and 2 counted on this side of the axis. But if you just made an allowance, well, then you might be able to do it. Like, I'm looking for all the... this seems like bad math. I'll Google this in a minute. Just like to try to figure it out myself first. Helps me understand it better if I've made some mistakes. Can I not undo past this? What the hell? How bizarre. Undo. Nope. It's there forever. I could switch to the eraser. There we go. So that finding an axis thing doesn't seem like a good idea. If I pick a vertex and I find the angles to all the other vertices, perhaps I can simply pick the largest angle, and depending on whether I'm going clockwise or anti-clockwise, I pick the next highest vertex in the indices, or I guess it wouldn't be indexed because they're unordered. But I pick this vertex if I'm going clockwise, and this vertex if I'm going counterclockwise. That seems like it would work. What's a crazy scenario? Whoops. Control Y is soft proofing. Okay. What if I had more vertices right here? I know that actually curves in a tiny bit. We're pretending this is straight. These are in a straight line. And if I'm working with this vertex, and you know what? If I only had this one vertex out here, then I do this angle, this angle, this angle, and this angle. This is still the largest angle. It must be. And then if this vertex were on this side, then the largest angle would be over here. And that all seems... And if you've buggered up your polygon and made it not convex, that's not my fault. You know, that's something that just the user has to fix. Maybe I can warn about that when I detect a non-convex polygon. But it does seem like if I just pick each vertex, I'm going to find the largest angle. Yeah. Go here, largest angle. Here, that's the largest angle. Here, that's the largest angle. And that's the largest angle. And then, how can I pick between them? There's this largest angle thing. But there's also similarity to the last angle. So, this angle most closely matches this angle. You know, it's like I want to add the minimum number of radians going to the next vertex. That's another way of thinking of it. How do I add the minimum number of radians? Alright, well now that I've done that little thought experiment, I'll look up Programming, find, or order vertices clockwise. Let's see what people online say. Sorting a list of vertices of a polygon clockwise. So, well, they've got a concave polygon there. In 2 dimensions. I'm just going to read this silently so you can read it if you want to. Boy, this is a really bad explanation. Time to look for a better explanation. I guess if it is always convex, go away all that stuff. Go away. And I'll just erase this. If it's always convex, then can't I start with a polygon? I don't know how I determine the first one. Let's just imagine I've determined this polygon. Then I just need to choose the minimum angle to the next vertex, and the minimum angle to the next vertex, and the next vertex, and the next vertex, and that gets me the convex polygon rather. Couldn't I pick any starting point? If I'm just going clockwise. If I started with this point, I'm going to use this point as my starting point for whatever reason. It's going to be vertex 0. No, then I do need to order that one as well. I don't know. Let's read what this person was saying. Take any point in the interior of the polygon, e.g. the average of all the vertices. If it's convex, then that will always be on the inside. Good point. Then you can compute the angle of each vertex to the center point and sort according to the computed angles. This will work for any point inside the polygon. Oh yeah. Great point. Very simple way to do it. I'll do it exactly that way. That was kind of the way I was figuring out initially, but I needed to work through some problems in my head and on paper before I settled on it. Okay, so we need a center point. Vec2t center, or middle. It's not really an exact center. Or inner point. Okay, then we loop through all the vertices, and we do inner point dot x. You know what I can do? Inner point equals vec2 add inner point and vertices v. Then at the end, I can just divide inner point equals vec2. There is no vec. I haven't made a vec2 divide, have I? You haven't needed it. Dot x divided by equals vertices count. This will have to be a float. And same thing for the y. And that should give me an inner point. Then the angle shall equal... Man, I'm getting cold. Turn off the ceiling fan. Texas, one of the hottest places in America. But everyone's air conditioning is so OP, I'm getting goosebumps in here. Good gravy. Okay. The angle... Man, I've forgotten how to get the angle between two thingamajiggeries. Let me write this down. Then I'll remember the math. We've got 2 points. And we're checking the angle of this line against whatever. This axis. How do we get that? Well, I guess we're just checking the angle of this vector. So let's undo a little bit of that. Let's give ourselves these 2 points. Then we're checking the angle of this vector. And the way we do that is to put it on a green axis. Whoops. There you go. Beautiful. Then we put it right here. Then all we do... Where's red? I'll get red. We want whatever. This angle or something. Then we just turn it into a right-angled triangle. And we say this is the adjacent angle. And this is the hypotenuse. So that would be cosine theta equals adjacent over hypotenuse. And so theta equals negative whatever you call that of adjacent over hypotenuse. I don't even know how to do inverse cosine in C. Maybe it's just cos I or I cos or something like that. I got rid of my little Firefox window. For some reason I'm just feeling pretty dumb today, so I'm just going to look this up. Angle from 2D unit vector. Atan 2xy. Just atan 2xy, and that gives it to you. Okay, I'll just do that. Angle equals atan 2. Now b minus a, so vertices v dot x minus inner point dot x vertices v dot y minus inner point dot y. That's the angle. If angle is less than angle min, and angle min needs to equal some outrageous amount, now that I think of it. Angle min equals float max. Then angle min equals angle and vertex min equals v. Then at the end of the loop, swap vec2t vertices ordered and vertices vertex min. Okay. And plus vertices ordered. That should do the trick. I have ended up making a for loop. I should just make it back into a for loop. There we go. Okay, will this work? Who knows? We'll see. So I should be able to just pass in my polygons now to this function, polygon order vertices clockwise. Alright. So whenever we add a vertex, that's right here. So we find our edge. I'll have to change this later so we really find the closest. No, wait, no, this is the closest. So we decide to make a new vertex at that position. Then we get rid of all of this crap. Yeah, we don't need this. We don't need to loop through all the vertices. We just resize to size plus 1. Add one to the top. Then do game data chunk. Whoops. Bloody hell. Cannot type. Chunks dot polygons selected. Polygon dot vertices. We'll put that right in there. This should be top plus plus now, shouldn't it? Top plus plus equals new vertex. Then we don't need to reorder them in any way like that. We just need to call, and I think I've got too many closing brackets here. I think it's good now. We just need to call polygon order vertices clockwise. Game data chunks polygon selected polygon dot index. Whoops. Selected polygon dot index. Dot vertices. And size of that. Size. And that should do the trick. Okay, what did I get wrong? Star, game data chunks, polygons. Chunks dot polygons. Oh, there's no dot vertices. Silly me. The polygon is just the vertices. I forgot that change. Mouse poly undeclared. It's right here. Where did I use it undeclared? 203. Down here. Too many closing brackets. Float max undeclared. Did I mean long max? Oh, I meant huge val. I believe. Float max. Isn't float max fine? C. Float max. Oh my god. STD numeric limits float max. This is horrible. C library float.h. Library macros. There's flit min. There's flit max. FLT max. Of course. Why would you spell it out when you can remove 2 letters? Float max undeclared. So I guess I need float.h. Ah, there we go. So, in polygon edit mode... Ah. Look at that. Of course... Well, that's interesting, actually. That shouldn't work that way, should it? That's really odd. I need to increase the size of this. See, when it's concave here, it draws in the concaviness. That is really odd. Whoa. I don't think these vertices are ordered correctly. Yeah. They are not. Certainly not. Wonder how collisions are going to work with all the wrong ordering of the vertices. Amazingly, it still works fine. That's really weird. Make a little thing you can't get through until you get small. Collisions still work fine over here. How strange. This isn't even convex. What if I make it really not convex? Then it's gonna bugger up. Yeah. Whoops. Did I make a way to... Yeah, okay, I press R and he goes back there. It is not ordering these polygons, these vertices correctly. Oh my. Oh no, it's not. It draws from this one to that one. To this one. Oh, ooh. What on earth? I don't even know how it's drawing the... I mean, the black lines show what order they're in, though, don't they? So how is it drawing this so wrongly? Well, it's a triangle fan, so maybe it shouldn't draw. But that's odd. Wait, maybe in the triangle fan, this is the first vertex, and so it just fans out. Maybe this is completely normal behavior. Yeah, since it's drawing a triangle fan. Oh, maybe the ordering is working perfectly fine. And this is just vertex 0. And so of course you see this weird visual effect because we're drawing a triangle fan. Yeah, actually I think it's all working completely fine. I can add new vertices. Hey, this might actually be working really well. Wow. I thought this would be a really big problem to solve. Oh. Important message coming in. Well, this is fabulous. Did you hear that noise? Am I developing schizophrenia, or did I just hear like a bow? I don't know. Maybe it was just one of the springs in my microphone boom. You know, maybe they were in tension at one little bit and finally managed to ping back. Don't know. So I don't think this issue with the blue polygon being drawn kinda oddly is really an issue at all. So this is vertex 0, and then if I move this to be not convex, then we see this weird glitch going on. You don't see it with this one particular polygon, so I can't really call it a feature. But I guess it is an indication that something's going wrong. If you see this kind of thing happening, you're like, oh god, oh, I've messed up this polygon. But maybe I should have a check the convexiness of a polygon, and then change the color of the vertex, and maybe even the color of the edges. I don't know. It might be a little bit extra. But change something to indicate that it's not convex. But I mean, do I really need to? Because you can see if it's not convex. Like, you go like this, that's not convex. And if it's a tiny bit not convex, like that, you could be forgiven for thinking that's straight or concave, but obviously I can see it's convex. If it's only a little bit off, the collision polygon is not that bad. And that's something you would fix as you're testing the level. You would see that. But I guess maybe I should add an indication. I should add an indication that it's not convex. Alright, that's what I'll do next. More messages. So an indication that a polygon is not convex. Perhaps I should just make a function called bool polygon check convex, or is convex. Well, I should just copy paste this argument list. Maybe I'll end up having a polygon header file. I hate saying header file because of what it sounds like. Okay, I don't hate saying that. Obviously, it's just like ugh, every time I say it. Ugh. Anyway, oh, I've got extra commas here. Okay, so how do I check the convexiness of a polygon? I should be able I should be able to go from one vertex to the next in order, checking the angle from vertex A to vertex B, then B to C, then C to D, and D back to A. And every time the angle should be greater, and then once it should reset back to 0. Or, you know, some small value, but it should only get smaller once. Now that, I'm going to Google this one anyway. Just to not waste my time. Yeah. For each consecutive pair of edges of the polygon, compute the z component of the cross product of the vectors defined by the edges pointing towards the points in increasing order. Gosh, what a word salad. But, you know, I suppose if I read a bunch of math textbooks, I would read that like plain English. The cross product of these vectors. Oh my god. The polygon is convex if the z components of the cross products are either all positive or all negative. Self-intersecting loop. Convex polygon. He's saying if it's self-intersecting. Yeah. A self-intersecting loop like this would pass that test because they're all turning right, basically. Or if you go backwards, they're all turning left. But I ordered the vertices before calling this function, so that should never happen. Now what was the accepted answer? Oh, nope, there was no accepted answer. Okay. Star polygons. Ah, yes. You could pass that polygon through this algorithm and it would come out as convex. Somewhat related but easier approach without the need of trigonometric functions. Gosh. I mean, I guess this is what I was thinking of right here. I didn't realize it was all cross products to find the clockwisiness. Okay. I like this answer. pk plus 1, pk plus 2, each with coordinates xy. dx1 is k plus 1 minus k plus 2 minus k plus 1. Yep, so that's a to b and b to c. Then the cross product multiplies x1 by y2 minus y1 by x2. I think I'll do this one, because I don't need that extra checking. So, we need dx0, dx1, dy0, dy1, and for int I v equals 0. V is less than vertices count plus v. Then I'll do int v0, v1, v2. Now v0 equals v, v1 equals v plus 1 modulo vertices count, and v2 equals v plus 2 modulo vertices count. Okay. Then dx0 equals vertices v1 dot x minus vertices v0 dot x. Whoops. And y dy 0. Whoops. Bloody hell. Then 2 minus 1, whoops, and then bool sine. I feel like I need to do this once to set the sign. And then bool sine new. So I guess this can't be a bool. Well, it could be a bool, but I might as well just make it an int. So how does he do it? Z cross product. Compute the Z component of the cross product. Doodle doodle doodle. The polygon is convex if the Z components are either all positive or all negative. Right. x1 times y2 sine nu equals x0 times dy1 minus y0 times x1. Then, well, since v0 is just v all the time, I can do whoops, and v0 equals 0, while v0 is less, plus v0 is less than vertices count, and sine nu equals sine. Then at the end returns sine nu equals sine, and on the first go around sine, we need to do this once to determine the sign. Well, yeah, we need to do it once just to determine the sign. Okay, sine equals that. Plus v0. Then, we can do plus v1 and plus v2. And then modulo it. This is fine. That's fine. Okay. So sine equals this. Then do it all the other times, checking sine nu against sine. Then if sine nu equals sine, then it returns true, otherwise it returns false, and whenever sine nu does not equal sine, we break out of this and return false. So that should work, maybe. Polygon is convex. So I'll call it separately to this function. Up here. Here it is. So that's where we order the vertices. Then I could call it every frame, but perhaps I could add a new value. Do I keep polygon in here? Or actually, polygons is just an array of vec2s. A dynamic array of vec2s. So I'll add to selected polygon bool convex. Convex equals true. Then down here when we add, removing a vertex will never change the convexitude of it, but adding a vertex can. And that happens right here, doesn't it? No, that's removing. This is adding. Okay. So game data chunks. No. Selected polygon dot. No, I want to be able to do it even if it's not the selected polygon. So instead, how shall I do this? I want to highlight non-convex polygons. I guess it has to be a dynamic array. Int star non-convex polygons. Init non-convex polygons, and we'll make it 16 large. I should no, I don't need. I was thinking of doing a dynamic array pop function, but I can just minus top, and that does it. So, no need. Okay. So, this is initialized. It's got no members in it, which is good. So, whenever we add a vertex, where the hell did that happen? Wasn't it around here? Okay, it was right here. Whenever we add a vertex, then if not polygon is convex, and KDA size, then why does this look weird? Have I missed a bracket? Yeah, okay. Then non-convex polygons. We need to add to that. So for bool already listed equals false. I loop through the non-convex polygons array. And look for this. If non-convex polygons I equals polygon.index, then already listed equals true, and break. If not already listed, then KDA push, non-convex polygons, selected polygon.index, and if the polygon is convex, Then we need to loop through. This is the only, well, this is not the only time. When we drag around the vertices, I feel like I need to loop through every frame. Whatever the selected. Technically, I only need to loop through whenever I'm editing the polygon, but I could be dragging around. I think I only need to loop through when dragging. So I need to copy some of this code. So if, where is it? Vertex dragging. Then if the polygon is convex, well, no, if we find the polygon in the listed non-convex polygons, then we check if it's convex. We break either way. Whoops. If it is convex, then we remove it. Do I have a remove function? Init free push size top shrink resize. I don't have a remove function. I'll implement it later. Who cares? Then we need to int j equals I. J is less than top of non-convex polygons -1 plus j, and actually we can subtract 1 from this right away. Then non-convex polygons j equals non-convex polygons j plus 1, and we've already subtracted 1 from the top, so that's all we need to do there, and it's removed. Okay, that should do the trick. And now if, well, okay, when we're drawing, so where do we draw our polygons? Let's see. If active tool is tool polygon, if active tool is cursor, and we have a selected polygon, then we draw the blue polygon and the points of the selected polygon. So I want to draw, if active tool equals tool cursor, if we have a selected polygon, then we draw that one. Then regardless for p equals 0, p is less than top non-convex polygons, each of the non-convex polygons gets drawn in red. So RGB, let's do R, I don't need the point F, GB. I want it to be pretty red, so perhaps we'll do something like 0.7 and 0.7. And 0.7 is good for the transparency. Then we begin a triangle fan. That'll just have to be 0 for now. For now, polygons, non-convex polygons P. Vertex equals chunks 0. Non-convex polygons P. Draw the vertex. Very good. V undeclared. Ah, 481. V0, V0. V undeclared, 491. Oop, what did I do? Oh, there we go. Okay, so these all look fine. Let's make one non-convex. It's not drawing the red thing. Ah, because it didn't check if it's non-convex when I move the vertices, only when I add the... Oh. That's not right. That's not supposed to happen. If I put this over here and click... Oh my. Oh my goody gumdrops. That is not correct. Not correct at all. What the flim Flanagan? Alright, so why the hell does it stop drawing it as soon as I have... As soon as I add a vertex? Let's remove this code. Shouldn't really do anything, but, you know, start with the simple stuff. I can move the vertices around and everything's fine. As soon as I add a vertex, it disappears. So, what am I doing? It's probably something to do with my adding a vertex code. Over here, right? No, up here. Here we go. So let's remove this polygon convexitude code. Whoops. And then I add a vertex. Okay, so it's something to do with that. So let's just remove bits and pieces of this. So let's just not push it onto the array there. Still gets rid of it. That's weird. If not, polygon is convex. How is that possibly doing anything? None of this code should do anything at this point. So let's just remove everything but the check for whether the polygon is convex to see if this function itself... Yeah. How the hell is my function? Polygon is convex. Screwing things up. It doesn't edit anything. Nothing is edited in the original array. Oh, yes it is. Yes, it bloody well is. Whoops. There we go. That should fix it. Where was I? Line 300 or so? Nope, further up. So let's just... I know it's not gonna do the same problem at least, so I'm just gonna uncomment all the code and see what happens. Okay, we add a vertex, it works fine. We make it non-convex, and of course, it's never going to... Ooh. It reckons it's non-convex right there. That's not correct. I need to translate a tiny bit. Actually, positive would be toward the camera, wouldn't it? So as soon as I add a vertex, it's like, no, that's not convex. That's interesting as well. I was thinking, oh, now it's this weird non-red color because I've got it selected. But I probably want that so I can still see which polygon I have selected. But this one is definitely convex. And it's just never being detected again as convex. So I guess my function is always saying not convex. Sine u equals sine. Sine equals this. Did I mess something up with the math here? Other than the equals and minus sign catastrophe. Maybe. v0 equals 0. v1 is v0 plus 1. v2 is v0 plus 2. Selecting the correct vertices, while plus plus v0 is less than vertices count, and sine u equals sine. Return sine u equals... Oh! Sine of sine u. Oops. Sine of sine u. Actually, yeah. So, here's what I should do. Sine u equals sine that. And sine equals sine that. And then sine u needs to equal sine. Okay, so now it's not counting as non-convex, and it never will, because whenever I add a vertex, which is the only time I'm checking for the convexity, it adds it just on the outside of the polygon. So now whenever I'm dragging the vertex around, I need to check for it being convex. Vertex dragging. Vertex dragging, then... if we find... so we actually need to check... well, if we find it in here, we need to check the convexity and remove it. But if we don't find it in there... whoops. So actually, I need to just do this. I need to take that and do bool convex equals that. Then if we are convex, we need to check if it's inside the array and remove it. Otherwise, we need to add it to the... well, we need to check it's not already in the array and then add it. Bool found equals... whoops. False. If this equals that, then... found equals true. Then if not found, we need to add it. KDA push non-convex polygons selected polygon dot index. Okay, that ought to do the trick. So now if I edit this, it's checking every frame. Ah, there we go. It immediately detects non-convex and updates the polygon. I switch over, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll add this vertex and I'll put it right there because that's where I want it. Well, how grand. And now I can select these two vertices and you can see which one's selected, but you can also see that they're both non-convex. And if I just delete that vertex, oh, that doesn't update it. So I need to do a check on update. At this point, I'm thinking I should have a small function that gets called so I don't have to copy paste this code. So I need to, well, perhaps this whole thing. Check if a polygon is convex, then either find it and remove it from the convex polygons list, or add it to the polygons list if it's not already in there. Yeah, that sounds like something I should just copy paste. So, update polygon convexness, and that will be game data. No, wait, no, it's not in game data. It's just selected polygon dot index, and I'll put this function up here inside this function so it can get all the nice scoping benefits. Void update polygon convexness int index. Okay, check if it's convex, and that would just be index, and index, index, and push index. And we're going to have to update this whenever polygons are created and destroyed as well. All these indices are not going to be correct at that point. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff. Just poured myself some peppermint tea. Delicious. Okay. All these online personality types promote rampant alcoholism, which obviously alcoholic beverages are a class 1 carcinogen. You know, adults are free to make their own choices, so if you want to drink, that's all fine. But I do think it's strange that so many people promote it online. People make their whole, like, YouTube channels and stuff. They're like, I do this and I drink alcohol. It's like, okay, enjoy your liver cancer. We need more people promoting tea and other delicious healthy beverages. Okay, update polygon convexness. And I might need another function. When a polygon is added, none of the indices need to be updated. But when it's removed, all the indices from that index and up need to have 1 subtracted from them. I'll do that in a minute. But when a polygon is edited, let's see. Oops. Resize a polygon and subtract from the top. Yep, so here we're removing a vertex from a polygon. So we need to update polygon convexness. And over here we're adding a polygon. I mean a vertex. So I can just do update the polygon convexness right here. Pretty sure I can do that. Oops. Update polygon convexness. Selected polygon. And then we're doing it whenever we're dragging around a vertex. It's getting updated every frame. So whenever we delete a polygon, that happens whenever a vertex is deleted, which is right here, isn't it? I equals v, doodle doodle doodle, resize, if size, okay, so this is it. If size is less than 4, then we delete the polygon. So it's selected polygon.index. I guess I can just write the code once here. For int I equals 0, I is less than top non-convex polygons. Whoops, yeah, that needs to be a plus plus I. So we loop through all the non-convex polygons, and if non-convex polygons I is less than or equal to, no, is larger than or equal to selected polygon.index, no, if it's larger, then we subtract 1, minus minus non-convex polygons I. Otherwise, if it's equal, then we need to remove it entirely from the array. So in that case, don't I already have this code written out somewhere? Should be in one of my functions. Up here. Yeah, right here. Yeah, that is exactly it. So I'm just gonna do this. J starts from I, goes to the top, and equals the next one, and also we need to subtract 1 from top. Do right there. And once that's done once, well, I mean, if it's listed multiple times, then this can be a little error fixer. That's fine. We don't need this break. We don't want to break there because the next polygons might be Well, actually, okay. This needs to not be an else. So we need to check if they equal first. So if we've found the deleted polygon in the non-convex polygons, we remove it. Then we need to stay on this index and check if the new polygon listed at this index. Oh, well, if it's... Okay, j is less than top minus 1. Then, if minus minus top is less than or equal to I, then we need to break. And if we're still within the array bounds, which we wouldn't have a memory error here, so it wouldn't really matter. But, fix it anyway. Then the new polygon listed at this index needs to be checked against the removed polygon and have its index subtracted by 1. And that should do the trick, except for all these errors. Oh, of course, I haven't declared my non-convex polygons array, so I'll just put that. I'll just put it above this function. Whoops. And what else have I done wrong? Top Kero dynamic array top undeclared first use. What? Kero standard.h. In file included in editor, function editor, in expansion on line 197. KDA top. Oh! I did a square bracket instead of a round bracket. Of course! So, I'm just going to pull all my polygons out here. Let's add some that I know are later. Then we'll take this one and make it non-convex, and this one can be non-convex, and this one can be non-convex. Then, let's delete this one. Oh, it's gone convex, and it's been removed from the array. Okay, delete. Crash. Exactly what we want to have. Good, a seg fault. Okay. GDB-2e. Is it --2e? I think it's --2e. A.out. And run. So does it happen just by removing a polygon now? When I delete a polygon, does that crash? It did, didn't it? Program received zigzag. So we're updating polygon convexness. Index equals -1. Okay. Stop. So when we remove a polygon, then we update the convexness. Yeah, so we should only update the convexness if we don't delete the polygon in the first place. So that's within this if doodle. So we just need a little else. Of course, I could just put this before we remove the polygon. But let's just run that again. I'll just delete a polygon to see that that works. That's all fine. Let's just add some polygons. Make this one non-convex. And this one, non-convex. And this one can be non-convex. Then I'm going to delete this polygon while keeping it non-convex. Bam. Alright. There you go. These ones stayed correctly listed as non-convex polygons. Boom. Make it non-convex. Delete it. It's gone. This one stays listed as a non-convex polygon. Brilliant. This is my first time making a serious level editor, and things are just going swimmingly. Absolutely swimmingly. Ugh. Okay. Now. What to do next? I'll do graphics later. So obviously this is all just collision geometry that you're creating with this editor here. So it's not the kind of thing you'll want to use for your graphics. So my plan is you make the collision geometry and then separately you add in the sprites if you want little blocks or you want a complete hand-drawn image just for each chunk. That would also work. I'm not sure what I'll do, but something like that. The graphics will be drawn separately, and obviously the collision polygons won't be drawn in gameplay. But I don't need the graphics to be drawn anytime soon. I mean, it's obviously very important, but it's like it doesn't impact much else in the programming. It's just I can just put that on top at any time, so no problem. So for now I would like to focus on more level editor stuff, but without worrying about graphics placement just yet. So I haven't got multiple chunks programmed yet. I'm gonna have to go through and change a lot of chunk 0 code when it comes to that. I definitely can't just do individual chunk editing, can I? Or chunk display. So right now the game is organized into chunks the size of one screen. Just seems like an easy way to do it. So that whenever I check for collisions, I can just check for everything in a single chunk colliding. And actually I'll probably do everything in the 3 chunks, you know, close to the player. The one on the left, the one that you're actually in, the one on the right, because you'll want overlapping geometry between chunks to make sure you don't, you know. Well, actually with the collision system, I think you wouldn't fall down little holes and stuff, and you won't get stopped in your tracks by tiny little bumps. So actually I can demonstrate what I'm thinking here. You have little bumps like this. Oh, these polygons are supposed to connect up perfectly, but I accidentally misaligned them. So, imagining a chunk barrier is right here. Then you're running along and... oh, never mind. It does stop you in your tracks. So, I get what you're really going to want is some kind of alignment, possibly, or just overlapping. And then the collisions will work just fine. Of course, it's aligned per, you know, game pixel unit, so that's really not too much trouble. So even if they're not overlapping, I mean, I guess they're technically overlapping there, I don't know. If they're not overlapping like that, though, they just end and start on the same pixel, they're fine. If they're not overlapping, even in that sense, they're still fine, because that's how it would be. One chunk would end on this pixel and the next chunk would begin on that pixel. So it is fine if they don't overlap. So maybe I don't need to worry about it. But you need to be able to align collision polygons with previous chunks, and you want to be able to view chunks together smoothly. You want to be able to smoothly scroll along the x-axis to view the edges of chunks. So. Alright. I'm going to want the middle mouse button, I think. Whoops. Not the scroll wheel. Like, not scrolling up and down to move left and right. That would be fine. But I think clicking with the mouse wheel and dragging with the mouse will be a good way to navigate the world camera. Which I don't have yet. So let's program a world camera then. So that's going to live in game data. Game data, player, oh, we have float camera X. Yeah, that's all we need is an X coordinate. The camera doesn't go up and down, so that's no problem. Highly advanced game, no vertical camera movement. Nobody has created the technology required to create that kind of complexity in video games yet, I'm afraid. It's horizontal scrolling only. It's the only thing that's possible on the latest. Cutting edge hardware. Okay. It's just a game design decision, of course. Let's see. So, camera X. Do I do anything when I draw the game based on camera X? Well, let's just test it by going to play and let's just do a really bad game data camera X equals player.pause.x minus resolution X over 2. Oh, player undeclared. There you go. And no, oh, pox. He's got the pox. Okay, that is horrifying. Why is that? Ah, it's the old double translation. So I'm drawing the game down here. Where am I translating my camera X? Draw game. Which are disable clear color, clear matrix mode. Translate by camera X. Ah, so I need to push the matrix here. Well, actually, I should just load identity again. Down here. So after switching to this frame buffer, then we load identity. And that's that. So it was translating the frame buffer itself as well. Okay. So obviously I'm going to make some nice camera effect where the camera doesn't immediately seek to the player's position. Maybe the camera will look ahead depending on which way you're facing, or maybe it'll smoothly follow the player but lag just slightly behind. Who knows? I think I'll make it look ahead of the player, because you're always going to be moving in that direction. You want to be able to look ahead and see what's coming up. So I'm definitely starting to feel gravity needs to be made faster, because that is horribly slow. So I'm going to do a little tweaking just so it feels better to play. Where did I come up with negative 384? Let's do 768. Still horribly slow. 1024. Power 2 numbers. Programmers. Still not fast enough. I really want the player to feel heavy. 2048. Let's do it. Ooh, that feels pretty good actually. Ooh, plonk. Plonk. You plonk down. That feels pretty good. Plonk. Okay. Actually, I kind of like the jump speed. I wasn't sure about the jump speed before, but it feels good. That feels like a good jump vector. Sort of a smooth curve up and then a sharp curve down. Oh. Now all my positioning code needs to take the camera position into account. I actually quite like that jump time. I feel like you can travel just far enough, Not quite the width of one chunk, even. So let's see, we're from this edge, and then with a downward fall we get to this edge, and so that is that distance right here, just about half a screen when you're falling down. That feels good. I might add a run function or some kind of power-up that allows you to jump further in some way later on. But for now, I'm thinking that's pretty good. So, need to update all my code to draw. Do I draw all of the chunks even? Draw game. We're just drawing chunk 0 polygons. So I'm going to keep things simple. The chunk is just going to contain its polygons as raw data. It's not, each chunk is not going to have its own translation along with it or anything like that. So the polygons in chunk 0 will have low x values, like 0 to 384 or 320 rather. I thought 384, that number was in my head because of the gravity thing. But the vertices will have values generally in the range 0 to 320 in the first chunk. Then in the second chunk they'll just have generally 320 to 640, you know. I think that'll be a good way to do it. So there's no need to do any special translations. All we need to do is yeah, I just need to loop right here. For int c equals 0, c is less than, well, c shall equal game data player pause x actually camera x divided by resolution x minus 1. C shall be less than doodle 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 plus 1 and plus plus c. And that'll draw all of the polygons. We don't have any polygons in the other chunks just yet, but that'll do anyway. So that way, well, yeah, because I want the polygons in each chunk to be able to overlap the chunks next to them. So I need to guarantee that they'll be drawn, especially when we get into graphics. The graphics might overlap chunks. You're definitely going to want graphics overlapping chunks, unless everything's hand-drawn per chunk. But if you have sprites that you're reusing between chunks, then you're definitely going to want to overlap the chunk boundaries. I'll be 1 second. Okay. So that's fine. We draw the 3 relevant chunks. Now I need to adjust all my editor code based on the chunks. Oh, and this needs to be chunks C. Wonder if that will create any glitches. Should just have 0 polygons in those chunks. Oh, of course, that equals -1. So, I guess I can just do max 0 doodle doodle doodle. And, well, I'm gonna have to do bounds checking here. Chunk left, and then it's less than chunk right. I think I only need it in this function. I'll do it right at the top. Int chunk left equals max 0 min KDA top game data chunks this value. Then apparently I've buggered it up a little bit. There we go. Then chunk right shall equal max 0 min top doodle doodle plus 1. Then we loop through chunk left to chunk right, and that should now work. Except there are now no polygons being drawn, even though we're colliding with them correctly. They're still there. Chunk, less than or equal to chunk right, of course. There we go. There we go. I need to check on one thing quickly. Alright. No problems, no problems. Okay, so now I need to edit all this editor code. You know, should I store this value? Nah, it's really easily calculable. So I'll just calculate it in the editor. And the player never moves when you're editing, but yeah, the camera X does. Or it will. So I need to update this variable every frame. Right down before the drawing. Okay, chunk left equals doodle doodle doodle, deedle doodle doddle. Okay, chunk left, chunk right. That's fine. I want to do the camera movement in the editor first. So let's do... actually, I'll turn these into persistent variables. Into chunk left and into chunk right. Way up here. Int chunk left, chunk right. And they shall equal 0. That way in the very first frame, if you do anything, it just affects chunk 0. But every frame after that, you can correctly edit things. Or maybe I should have an active chunk. Maybe the only chunk that's editable is the one most in the middle of the screen, or something like that. That wouldn't be too bad. Okay, in any case, I'll figure that out later. Because I need to do bool camera dragging equals false. Then mouse left, mouse right. Where does this whole thing end? Case mouse middle. Now I'm just going to make sure I actually have this programmed in. I'm just going to do exit 0. Bam. Okay, good. Mouse middle works. Case mouse middle. Oh, you know what? I need a starting point. So camera dragging int camera drag start or offset equals 0. And so then all we do is camera drag offset equals. And you know, I don't even need this camera dragging variable. But I guess I should have it. Yeah, I'll have it. I'll have it. But I'll actually set it down here. Camera drag offset equals game data platform mouse X. Okay. Then down here. If not, game data, platform, mouse, buttons, and mouse, middle. Then camera dragging equals false. Else. So actually, I'll just do this. Camera dragging is false. Okay, so we have a variable telling us whether we're dragging the camera. Peppermint tea to keep me going. Man, only been going for, let's see, 2 hours? I feel like I've done so much. Really, today I was just hoping to get that whole, the editing new vertices of a polygon going correctly, and now we've got that completely working. And then we've got the convexness and vertex ordering of polygons all going, so this is going fabulously. Okay. So camera dragging equals also, if we drag the camera, then game data camera x equals camera drag offset. We need an initial int camera x start or drag start. Drag start equals 0. So we need to set this drag start down here. When we check the middle, so camera x drag start equals game data camera x. Camera x equals camera x drag start plus game data platform mouse pause x. No pause, just x. B minus A minus camera drag offset, and we need to divide this by the scale. Divided by, where do I figure out the scale? Game view scale, okay. So we do store that. Good. Divided by game view scale. Okay, will it work? It's going the opposite direction, but it seems to be working. So it's this minus that. Beautiful! Oh yeah. Oh, that is... Now it seems to be moving in sub-pixels, which I don't want. Let's just test that by lining up against the edge. Yeah, seems, well, is that sub-pixels? I think it's sub-pixels. But isn't camera x an integer? So it shouldn't really be able to do that. Unless I foolishly decided to store it as a float. Well, I did, but maybe I need that for smooth camera movement. But for now, I'm going to set it to an integer right here. When scrolling the camera in the editor, I want integer movements. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, this is glorious. Look at that. Now I wonder how I'll, if you move the camera way over, you're like, oh, where do I go? Obviously, you need a way to snap back somewhere, but maybe I can just prevent the camera from moving beyond the limits of each chunk. Because you're not going to have empty chunks. So, pretty much, I could say you can't move beyond a single empty chunk. And that would fix any camera woes, and you couldn't move back past 0 either. Yeah, I think that would do it. Although, I might want the ability to add chunks in back here. I guess I'll just have an add chunk button. I'll just have a button for adding chunks and on either end and removing the current chunk. Something like that. Later on, I mean, do you need to remove a chunk? Yeah, you might want to. You might be like, alright, I like this chunk, and I like this chunk, I like how the level's going, but this one was a mistake. Delete. Something like that. So I guess I'll add that later. It's not really necessary right now. So now I need to update all this mouse clicking, dragging crap. I think I'll make it so you can only edit the active chunk. And therefore, perhaps I will draw... I'll draw a box around the active chunk. I think that'll be useful. Hey Clone Style, why not have it auto-create/destroy chunks? Well, I mean I could, but it doesn't really seem necessary. I guess destroying chunks, maybe, but you're not going to have empty chunks. So, like, just letting the camera go beyond the last chunk that has stuff in it, you know, auto-create an empty chunk at the end, and then when you put stuff in it, that's fine. And if you want it to go beyond that, you just keep filling up chunks until you get there. But you would need to be able to insert chunks. You might say, oh, I need to insert more stuff here. Insert chunk, bop, bop. Something like that would be useful. But for now, okay, let's update all this editor stuff so that it lines up correctly with the scrolled camera. Guess it just seems tedious if you're adding and removing them a lot. I don't expect people to actually add and remove chunks very much. And actually, mainly, I'm thinking about my own experience. It's like, you know, I don't expect my game to be hugely popular or anything. So I'm mainly concerned about my own editing experience. And I'm also making this level editor for another person, for a different game. Well, similar. You know, it's a platformer though, so I guess I have to think about their experience. Depends on how big the levels will be. Yeah, that's true. I mean, obviously I hope that, you know, millions of people will play this game and make tons of levels for it. That would be so cool. But that's not going to happen, so mostly I worry about my own level editor experience, and I figure if I create it well for myself to use, then it'll be good for other people to use as well. So let's just start from the top. Everywhere I reference. Excuse me. You never know. Yeah, well, you do never know when a game could just luckily get extremely popular, like Five Nights at Freddy's. Nobody would have looked at that before it came out and said, yeah, that's going to be one of the biggest games in the world. You're gonna go into Hot Topic and see Five Nights at Freddy's merchandise. But I mean, there was a brilliant game design hiding underneath the initial impression of just bizarre low-quality graphics and stuff. So you never know. People might fall in love with Super Kero Land. They might say, this is what I've always wanted. A game somewhat similar to Super Mario Land, but with more complex geometry and a level editor on the PC, instead of limited to the Game Boy. This is what I've wanted since I was 6 and played Super Mario. You know, could happen. When you played Minecraft the first time, you would never have guessed. Yeah, same. I played that in the beta at least, maybe the alpha. And even back then, it didn't seem like it would get that much bigger. It seemed like a niche thing. Hey, you like making these block things and running around this horrible pixelated world. And now it's, yeah. Is it the biggest game in the world? It's one of the biggest. So, you do never know. You never know. I'll release this game and all the Steam reviews will be like, this level editor sucks. God damn. I was going to tell all my friends about this game, but the level editor is just such garbage. So, yep, totally going to happen now. I'm going to invest hundreds of thousands of dollars in advertising. Now that I am a guaranteed success, I'm going to do that. Gonna take out a huge loan. Gonna go, since the bank won't give me it, I'll go to a dangerous loan shark connected with the mafia to get enough money to promote my indie game. That could be a movie. That's the modern, back in the day it was a man or woman, whatever, but, it was a person wanted to start a small business or whatever. They're like, I've got the dream idea. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm going to do this thing, but I can only get a loan from the loan shark. And then the malicious, evil loan shark ends up ruining his life because his business doesn't succeed and all that. But then in the end, his business does succeed. So it's an indie game. And the developer's like, I need to hire an artist. I need to promote the game. I need this and that. And then tens of thousands of dollars later from the loan shark, they release the game. It's a huge disaster. Everybody hates it. The loan shark's coming after them. So they're on the run, but they're working on the game on their laptop still. And they're patching the game. And then the loan sharks, they lose the laptop. They have to get this crappy netbook and download the source from their GitHub project, and they manage to complete the game out of early access, and the game releases, and then everyone loves it, and they're able to pay off the loan shark, and they start there. Yep, that's how it's gonna go. We're gonna see a movie like that. It'll be Indie Game the Movie 2, not a real story this time. There will be drugs involved, because it's indie games. Everyone knows. I'm just sitting here with my peaceful cup of tea. All the other indies are on Adderall to stay up late enough to program their games. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. So this is all menu stuff, so that's irrelevant to the game. But here we go. I don't need this if check anymore, do I? Because if I start dragging the menu or resize the menu, then click handle will be true. So I can get rid of that. Just make sure that still works. Yeah, everything's incorrectly. Actually, it's not working now. I can still move around this. How did deleting that wreck this? Weird. Case tool cursor. Oh. It's because I need to remove that curly brace. Okay, so that's still working. I can move this around and resize it, and then I can go back in and select my polygons and move everything around. Okay. Hooray for removing a single if statement. Now my game will run at 60 FPS. I actually haven't checked the performance, but I can see that it's running at 60 all the time at least, so I'll worry about profiling later. I don't actually see it being a problem with this game, so I'm just designing things in a reasonable way from the beginning and assuming that the performance will work out fine. But I'll focus on performance later. Later on. So that's the menus now. So what are we doing here? If we haven't selected a polygon, we need an active chunk. Chunk left, chunk right, chunk active. And I might make a function for this, because I might have to call it multiple places. Void update active chunk. Yeah, because if it changes, I'm gonna have to change a bunch of stuff. Every time the active chunk changes, we have to clear out the convex polygon list, or the non-convex polygon list, and other such things. Deselect whatever polygon is selected, and all of that. So this will be a good idea. Update active chunk. Int previous active chunk equals active chunk. Whoops. Hey. Oh, it was chunk active, wasn't it? Funny how you end up writing things backwards when you start programming. Like, I'm inclined to change this to chunk active previous. Because the variable is, it's one of the chunk related variables, so it starts with chunk. It's the active chunk. And then this, I just want it to be the previous counterpart to this chunk active variable. So it says chunk active previous, where in English you would say previous active chunk. Anyway, it actually does make more sense like this. So chunk active previous equals chunk active if chunk active previous is not equal to chunk active. That's when all the business happens, otherwise nothing. So we need to do KDA top of non-convex polygons equals 0. That clears that array. We need to deselect the polygon. Selected polygon dot index equals -1. Selected polygon. You know, selected polygon dot chunk will always be the active chunk. That's what I'm going to do it. That's how I'm going to do it. So I guess we can just make this an int selected polygon. Pretty sure that will be the best bet. It'll really overcomplicate things if I have multiple chunks being edited at the same time, and I'll just draw a square over the active chunk so you can clearly see which one is active at the time and you don't get confused about why you can't edit a polygon. Yeah, okay, so selected polygon is -1. I don't even know if there's anything else I need to edit. I need to move this selected polygon variable up above this function. And yeah, nothing else needs editing. Alright, so chunk active previous equals chunk active. Chunk active equals, let's see, game data camera x plus resolution x over 2 int all of that, and that should give us whatever chunk lines up with the middle of the screen. So that'll figure out the right chunk to set active. Now I should also actually min-max this. Actually max 0 and min of KDA top game data chunks. Okay, so even if we scroll past the beginning or end of all the chunks, it'll only select the minimum or maximum chunk. Won't go out of bounds. Okay. So this is just menus, not related to which chunk we're in. And all this game data chunks selected polygon.chunk and selected polygon.index. So I need to just find and replace all of that. Selected polygon.chunk needs to become chunk active. And I'm just going to hold down Y. Oh, that was quick. Okay, then selected polygon dot index just needs to become selected polygon, and hold down the Y, and that'll be a lot more edits. Yep, there we go. Okay, now when drawing, why does my mouse keep flicking? Oh, I know why it is. My drawing tablet, my pen was just resting on the drawing tablet, so it was just sometimes picking up the position of the pen. Okay. We need to update. Let's see. Update active chunk. We need to do that initially. Then, oh, you know, when I'm exiting this function, I am not freeing non-convex polygons. Need to do that. KDA free non-convex polygons. That was a memory leak. Now, Alright, so in the drawing routines, I need to adjust everything by what? Hovering over mid, so this is fine. Active tool is tool polygon. Okay. So, this needs to, that's actually when I create a polygon, I need to create it in the correct place. Oh, game data chunks 0 needs to change. So I'll do that. Chunks 0 needs to become chunks. Chunk active. Doodle doodle doodle. Alright. Okay, so I need to really start from this event loop. Chunk active dot poly. So okay, yeah. But we need to adjust vec2 to screen space. Chunk active dot polygons. Selected polygon dot x. Polygons selected polygon dot y. Vec2 to screen space. I believe that's in here. Vec2 to screen. Oh, where do I keep this function? Is it in main? Vec2 to game space and to screen space. So this needs to take into account the camera position. Width, height, x times equals game view scale, y times equals game view scale. Okay. X plus this should be plus camera x, right? And then x minus equals that minus width plus camera x. I think that'll do it for creating the polygons. Chunk active undeclared. Chunk active previous 107. Yes, chunk active blah blah blah. Right there, and we'll call it once right here, that's fine. Okay, camera X undeclared. Oh, what am I thinking? Game data camera X. Okay, so, whoops, segfault. Good, exactly what I wanted to happen. A segfault just by changing this? No, it must be by accessing the wrong chunk. But just to verify, I will remove these bits. I'm sure I'm just out of bounds of the array because I'm accidentally checking the wrong chunk. So let's find out where that's happening. Do I need to reload the executable in some way? I guess not. It automatically reloads the executable. Okay, size chunk active dot polygon selected polygon. So we check if the polygon is not -1. Oh, I'm not updating the active chunk, am I? Well, maybe we don't need to yet, though. Oh, good. A.out has changed rereading symbols. Good. Program receives zigzag. Can I inspect? P selected polygon. Negative 8,592. Good. That's what I wanted it to be. S is for stop. Okay, I'm slowly learning how to use GDB. So, I'm just not setting active polygon. Is that all it is? Selected polygon, -1. Okay, going smoothly. We select the polygon, but the selection is way off. That's really funny. I guess I'm subtracting when I need to be adding or something like that. So it lines up and then it's sliding to the left. Okay, so we actually need to subtract game view scale. No wait, you know what? Over here when we're multiplying by game view scale, X needs to minus equal camera X. Or something like that. Okay, so that's correct. So then after dividing by game view scale, then X needs to plus equal camera X. And now my selection does not work. Good, good. That's just what I was hoping for. So when I'm a little bit off, it's going the wrong way, huh? Does it need to minus equal? Still not right. If I'm a little bit off. That seems to be about the width of camera X. Although, wait, is it the same without that? Wait, let's see. Vector to game space. I do need to add camera X, don't I? Shouldn't I just have to add camera X? So if I click over here, it's in game space, it's at like negative something or other. So it needs to, subtract camera X. Somehow that's not working. Oh, I can't move. Did I segfold or something? Wait a minute. No, I could still... Oh, I didn't press F1. I'm a genius. I am an absolute genius. Okay, this is so wrong. Damn. It's because of this line, right? So do I need to subtract? Still wrong. Is it because of this down here? What is going on? So when I'm selecting a polygon, we're on the cursor. Vertex equals vector to screen. Oh, if selected polygon is -1. I just want to talk about selecting polygons. Okay. Previous selected polygon. Vertex dragging. Game cursor pause. I don't need to check this, right? Because if vertex dragging is true, then click handled. So I can remove this. It goes down to there. Remove that statement there. Just make sure things still work incorrectly as they did before. Yeah. Still fine. Okay. Game cursor pause, vector to game space, mouse X, mouse Y, game data. So I pass in the mouse X. We subtract the window width over 2, which is the offset minus, so we subtract the left edge of the position of the game frame buffer. Then divide by game view scale. Divide by game. So now it's in the game world. It's just not translated by camera X. So if I've moved the camera to the right, the X of the mouse click needs to move to the right as well. So how is that not X plus equals camera X? And if it's moved to the left, it needs to subtract. How is this not correct? So if the camera is right here, then when I click here, it's all translating the mouse to the game view correctly. And everybody is happy. And when I move the camera in a negative direction, then I click in the same spot, this mouse click needs to be translated by a negative amount. Does it not? Why is this not correcting for that? It's just always selecting. I mean, I edited the code. It doesn't seem to make a difference. How on earth is this working? How am I adding to camera X? And yet, I mean, I'm adding to this. Oh, it's a V dot. There we bloody go. What a genius. What a bloody genius. Okay, so now we need to figure out this nonsense that's happening. Just fixing those two functions will fix most things. But when we're dragging the polygons... how about placing polygons? Bam, bam, bam. See, that's working right away. Fine. Tool cursor. If polygon dragging, drag in screen space. Polygon drag.x minus polygon drag start.x. Drag in screen space minus equals. Have I fixed this and I no longer need these weird lines of code that I came up with and didn't know why I put them there? Oh. It seems I'm just not adjusting for I'm just not adjusting for the camera, that's all. Plus game data camera X. Might have to be minus. I can't bother thinking about which one it is, so it's so close. Pretty sure making it minus would be drastically incorrect. Yeah. Why is that so close, but not quite correct? How agitating. It places it correctly. Drag in screen space equals vec2 to screen space polygon drag.x polygon drag start.x. Translate to the screen space vector. So when I'm over here, it's translated by that much. When I decrease the camera offset, then it's not offset at all. It's like the camera X is getting multiplied. So I don't need to multiply the scale of the camera. I think that's what I need to do. Maybe this. Nope. Bugger. It's like almost working. When it's centered, it works. When I move it to the right, it moves too far to the right. When I move it to the left, it moves too far to the left. Drag in screen space equals polygon drag minus polygon drag start. Drag in screen space. Polygon drag minus polygon drag. How am I storing these variables? Need to look at these. Polygon drag. So polygon drag start is in game space, and polygon drag is in game space. That's why the drag in screen space. When I don't adjust for the camera right here, it's still, it's too far. What's going on? Is it because of this right here? Somehow I feel that it is. Maybe I should be storing the drag in screen space and only translate it to game space when I drop the polygon. I feel like that's what I had going originally, and for some reason I was having problems with it, so I just changed it. Alright, I need to take a quick break. I'll be back in like 2 minutes, so I'll think on that while I'm gone. I'm back. I'm thinking I should change this polygon drag data to be held in screen space, and then only translate it to game space when I place the polygon. Pretty sure that'll be a good idea. So let's find this polygon drag. Polygon drag start. Okay, so we're just going to change this to vec2. Actually, yeah, no, we just need game platform mouse. Yeah, okay, it's not a vec2. Vec2 make mouse X, mouse Y, and that's it. Then polygon drag. Game data chunks doodle doodle equals, so polygon drag equals vec2 to game space. Polygon drag game data. Then polygons doodle doodle. I could do vec2 sub. Polygon drag minus polygon drag start. And game data chunks doodle 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 v equals polygon drag dot x and polygon drag dot y. Now polygon drag equals just vec2 make yada yada yada. And now we're down to this stuff. So we don't need that or that or that. Translate by polygon drag. Actually, we need the difference. Drag in screen space. So vec2 sub drag, I'll call this drag delta instead. Drag minus drag start. Don't need these lines, then drag delta. And where else do we do it? Just down here, right? Isn't it? I thought it was down there somewhere. Drag in screen space? No? Okay, that's it. So, invalid operands to binary. Vec2 sub, polygon drag, and polygon drag start. There. By the way, Clone Style, if you're still around, are you a programmer? And if so, what are you working on if you can share? If not, obviously, that's cool. So, what did I do? Line 300. I subtracted instead of putting a comma. What a fool. What are my variables here? Float x, float y. Of course. Vec2t drag game equals vec2 sub, then drag game equals drag game.x, drag game.y. Okay. Compile? Compile? Come on, there you go. Oh, well, it's almost working. It's drawing the polygons correctly. I can still place them correctly. It's just the drag thing is going mental. So how am I placing these? Game data chunks, polygons, select polygon.x equals. So this should be plus equals. And it should be drag game. Whoa. Nope. Kinda going disastrously. What the hell? Drag game equals vec2 sub drag minus drag start. Then to game space xy data. Why does that get the wrong value? It doesn't need to go to game space. It only needs to be scaled to the game. Vec2 mul scalar. Drag game. Game data. Game view scale. Okay. Oh. Oh. Uh. Not quite. Needs to be divided, actually. So I can do 1 over. Oh, yeah. There we go. This is how I should have written the code the first time. But regardless, it is now working just fine. Okay. So now let's go about drawing a square around the active chunk. And that needs to happen outside of drawing. So we draw the game at -99, and then this stuff is all going on the regular frame buffer. So I guess I'll just draw it first. Let's see, GL translate. I'll do GL push matrix pop, and we're going to need a triangle fan, and the size shall be, I'll do 0, 0, 0, 0, and then resolution X times game data game view scale, and same number there, and this shall be resolution Y and resolution Y. We need to translate down by some amount, and let's make it like -50. I'll adjust all the depth values later. Oh, we don't need a triangle fan. We need a line strip. And in which case we need the first vertex again. I also might adjust the line thickness. But when I tried that, it was a complete disaster last time, so I don't know. We need to translate up, actually, but I'll do that later. We need to translate across by game data camera X minus let's see, chunk active times resolution X, which happens to be the size of the chunks. Maybe I should make a separate variable for that, but who cares? We'll leave it like this. And then this all needs to be multiplied by game view scale, and yeah, I'll leave the Y translation for later. We need a color. I do want it to be an opaque line as well, I think. Let's just make it red. Now, do we get anything from that? Have I missed something? Line strip undeclared? Oh. Yeah, I mean GL line strip, thank you. I don't... Oh, there we go. Well, that's wrong. Minus chunk active, so plus chunk active? No. It's about the camera X. So it actually needs to be chunk active times resolution X minus camera X. That's pretty close. It needs to be translated over here. And doesn't that look black? It's black, then it's red. It's black, then it's red. It's red, most of the time. And then just when I have this chunk placed correctly, it goes black. What the hell is up with that? That is strange. In any case, we're translating. We need to translate. Okay, so we need to translate by wherever the game frame buffer is being drawn. So I think I need to. Well, no, I can calculate it right here. Okay, so game data platform dot window dot width minus resolution x times game data game view scale. Divide that all by 2. Oops. There. And there we go. And I just need to do the same thing for the y-axis. And that will be resolution y. And window height. And there we go. Correctly drawing a square around the active chunk. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. You can always see that pretty easily. Maybe it should be thicker though. Can I change the thickness? GL line width 2. Hey, it did do it correctly. I feel like it needs to be about 5. Then I'll change it back afterwards or something. Maybe in draw game I can just change it at the start of draw game. GL line width. Oh, actually, is that an attribute? Can I push that attribute? Wow, maybe I can. But apparently it may not work anyway. Push attrib, line width. I pop the attribs down here. Maybe if I set... I'm just seeing if this pushing the line width attribute works. Doesn't. Alright. I'm probably just doing it wrong. I'm sure there's a way to actually do it correctly, but I'll just do that. That looks pretty good. Maybe I'll make them semi-transparent now, since I've got thicker lines. 0.7 seems like a good number usually. And then we can see the polygon lines through the active chunk box. Now the only thing I'm wondering about is why it turns black right there. That just seems totally bizarre. I mean, it's not really a problem. But why would it do that? Just seems wacky. Because this color function is being called regardless of where the camera X is. Yeah, that's just totally bizarre. Well, it doesn't really bother me. It's not a big problem. People can take that as an indicator. Ah, I have set my camera X back to 0. Now I get the black box. So, now let's do new chunks. So I suppose I should always just have an extra chunk on the end. There should always be an extra empty chunk. Whenever you're editing a chunk, there should be one already there. So I need something about that. Maybe every frame. Every frame I could check if the current chunk or if the maximum chunk is empty. If it is empty, that's fine. And if it's not empty, I add on a chunk. It doesn't really feel like it has to happen every frame, though. It could happen whenever you create a polygon. But I mean, well, no, I think the best way to do it is just to add a button. Just a simple button. So you know what, I'll do that. I don't need critter anymore. But where is a sprite? Editor UI. Oh, that's the PNG. I should open the ASprite file. Okay, so let's do a little new chunk sprite. Well, we're gonna want the plus again, so I'll just try to remember the hotkeys here. Nope, what is it? M. I'll just copy that. And I'll edit that. Feel like perhaps I should just copy this plus to its own layer. New layer stuff. And mode. Yep. Wish you could like say this layer doesn't get exported, but doesn't really matter. I'll just paste it and put it over here for now, and we can move it around and stuff, no problem. So now in this layer, we've got our plus. Actually, we'll probably just want to add the plus on later. Yep. Okay. What does a chunk look like? Perhaps I should use a red color and just do this. Oops. Because you see a red outline when you make a chunk. So maybe this makes sense. But I could write chunk here as well. Chunk. And give it a new, give it a little plus sign. Boop. Chunk. That looks pretty good. I'm looking at it in the real size down there. Easy to understand. Editor UI.png. Yes, please. Wait. Visible layers, just layer 1. Yes, and I'll rename this to export so that I remember. Okay, so we need a new tool. Where do I handle these? Tool polygon, tool, new chunk. And active tool. Where do I handle the stuff? Active tool equals doodle doodle. Menu tools. Minimum width 128. That's enough for 4 tools, I believe. Well, let's just see if that draws the new tool. Nope. So where do I draw these tools? Oh, I just noticed. Now the menu borders are really thick. But I kinda like it. Maybe I'll change it back though. Kinda don't like it as well. I don't know. I can just change it really easily. Where? Right here. Line width. Line width. There we go. Now, when we're drawing the tools, menu resize mask, menu title, active tool equals tool polygon, tool cursor, top non-convex polygons, menu count, menu window draw, menu dot draw. Okay, so the draw function for menu tools draw. Okay. Bind texture 0. Translate. So we're drawing the selection box. Then bind texture, edit UI texture. Oh, and this is all manually done. So let's see. 16 minus tool count. Or it should be 17 minus tool count, shouldn't it? 17 minus tool count. And then this should be tool count minus 1. And 17 minus tool count. And tool count minus 1. Oh. Should this be 17 minus tool count? I don't think that's true. I should only be changing the X. Yeah, so I've just buggered that up. That's just supposed to be 14 over 16. Tool count minus 1, tool count minus 1. Oh, so that should be it. Nope, so it's just tool count, not tool count minus 1. Okay, now it should draw it. There we go. Ooh. Okay, 64, so this should be tool count times 32. And tool count times 32. There we go. And I can select chunk. But it shouldn't be selected. So menu tools click. Doodle doodle doodle. If else. So if we click on so if X minus menu left over 32 equals tool new chunk, then we make a new chunk rather than changing which tool is selected. So game data chunks resize game data chunks to KDA size game data chunks plus 1 and let's see, top of game data chunks plus, and I need to pour myself some more peppermint tea. Actually, well, it's warm enough right now. I'll get half a cup of this temperature and then heat it up before I do another one. That is the good stuff. Now, I need to look at the game data structure. Game data chunks, the chunk T. Chunk contains... That's fine. Oh. Sprites. Oh, yep. Polygons, sprites, and entities. So all those need to be initialized. KDA init. Game data chunks. KDA top. dot sprites with 1. I mean, normal, we're gonna have at least 16, right? And polygons, we're gonna have at least 8. And entities, we're going to have at least 2 of those in each chunk, usually more. So they're all initialized. Now polygons, polygon, that's up here, vec, so that's just a vec2t. Polygon t. So this is, okay, so now I need to initialize all 8 polygons. Okay. I'll do that. Do I really do that? I guess so. When I add a new polygon, I'm going to have a look at my function here, my code. When I am in the tool polygon, we resize polygons to size +1. Then p equals, yep, init. We initialize that polygon. We set the top to 4. That's right. So I guess maybe I shouldn't add any polygons at the start. Yeah, that would be weird. I should just initialize it to size 0. Is that even possible? Maybe I'll initialize it to size 1. So I'm not sure I can do an initialization to size 0. Pretty sure that won't work. Make a new chunk. Well, I can only assume it worked, yeah, well, but it's not selecting the active. I need to make it select the active chunk. So whenever we move the camera, oh wait, don't we have an update active chunk thing? Update active chunk, yep. So we need to call this function. We call it at the start. And then we also need to call it whenever the camera moves. Oops, semicolon. Okay, so when I add a chunk, oh, and when I add a chunk, I'll need to call it. But it's just selecting chunk. So I guess this is not correctly detecting it. Let's see, menu left, menu top, menu left plus tool count times 32. Well, I'll add this here. So this doesn't work. If x minus menu left over 32 equals tool new chunk. I mean, if it does, then this would, right? If it ever equals tool new chunk, well, I guess I'll just switch it for this. If it's ever going to select tool new chunk, it should hit this, right? Implicit declaration of update active chunk, of course. Move this up above here. I'll move it way up. Non-convex polygons not declared. Okay, I'll move all of this. Up here. Okay, good. New chunk. Segfault. Good. Something happened. So, what am I segfaulting on, GDB? I'm sure I could actually work this one out, but I'll just ask GDB to tell me. Oh, no source. Good. When we're allocating, well, I guess we can't see what our variable is, but I'm sure, well, I suspect it is this. Allocating that. Still segfault though. Okay, another malloc error. So what if I don't do these? Still segfaulting. Still a malloc error. Why can't you give me the call stack? GDB call stack. Debugging with GDB, examining the stack. Stack frames, backtraces. Yes. Just BT, backtrace. Okay, run it. New chunk, backtrace. Okay, menu tools, click. Yeah, yep. So, malloc, in menu tools, click, doodle. Menu tools, click. Oh, it must be to do with this. Still not sure why that would fail, but let's see if we can run now. Added a chunk, or I clicked the add chunk button anyway. Of course it didn't work, because I just disabled all of its functionality. But now we can run without segfaulting, so why does resizing kill it? Resize game data chunks, size game data chunks plus 1. That should totally work. Segfault. How is this segfaulting? Chunk T. Oh, I set it to a fixed size. I guess that should be a dynamic. I mean, there's some intended maximum size for these levels. 64 was not it. I'm actually planning on reasonably large levels, so maybe 256 or something. Maybe no levels will exceed 256 chunks. But I still want other people to be able to make levels as huge as they want within whatever the performance constraints are of my program. And I will try to make those performance constraints as limitless as I can. So let's see what happens now. Oh, segfault right away. Because I don't have any chunks, I need to initialize it now. So I'll just do that up here somewhere. Pretty sure it'll still segfault. Oh, it doesn't. All that other stuff should be uninitialized, right? Chunk. Didn't create a chunk, of course. But now maybe all this will work. Oh wait. Yeah, because I must have already been enabling, initializing all the chunk 0 data. Yeah, I initialized chunk 0 to have one polygon, and I'm not doing anything with the sprites. Oh, that's interesting. So I guess I need to initialize polygon 1. Polygon 0. With 4 vertices. So it should still be selecting this chunk. It's selecting the wrong chunk. But here we are in the chunk. I wonder if I go back far enough. It never selects this chunk. That's weird. Why is it selecting the wrong chunk? So update active chunk is way up here actually. Chunk active previous use, chunk active equals max 0. Minimum top of chunks. Int game data camera plus resolution x over 2. Yeah, that needs to divide by a lot. Game data camera plus resolution x over 2, which all needs to divide by resolution x. Whoops. Aha! That's what I'm talking about. Now, whenever the chunk crosses the middle of the screen, whichever chunk is taking up the most of the screen is the active chunk. Good. And the camera is never going to be able to go left of chunk 0, so I should stop the camera. I should constrain the camera to that edge, and then same thing with the maximum edge over here. Alright, so when we're moving the camera, here, camera x equals min 0, max 0, min, etc. And min shall be game data chunks KDA top chunks times resolution x should be top minus 1. Maybe plus 1 pixel? I'm not sure. Whoa! That's not what I meant to happen. Min top, oh, size. So I was thinking size minus 1, which is exactly what top is. Okay. Make a new chunk. Ugh. That's weird. Not what I intend to happen. It's stopping us from moving to the right, at least. Minimum of top of chunks times resolution x. Maximum of 0. The max between 0 and all this. The minimum between top of chunks times resolution x, which would be 1. Why isn't that working? Man, most of programming, it seems to me, is I type something in. You know, I have an idea, I type something in, and then most of the actual programming is sitting here going, why doesn't that work? Oh dear. Evidently you need a lot of perseverance to be a programmer. And a good chair. Which I don't have. Oh well, I've got the one. Don't need the other. So I'm going to remove this min call. So now it maxes at 0, but it continues on past the edge there. Then min top of chunks times resolution. That's correct. And add a chunk. Oh, it's whenever I go into the negatives. So this should be unsigned int. There we go. Oh, still no good. Still no good. I want to go just over to 0. Oh, I guess I should just switch the min and max around, huh? That might do it. Yeah, there you go. And then when I move, oh yeah, there you go. 1, 2, 3. So now we've got 1, 2, 3, and one more. And then it'll stop me from going beyond there. Good. You know, I could actually add the new chunk button over here, so you only see it when you're at the very edge. Funny idea, I guess. I'll leave it in the menu for now. I want to slightly change the chunk outline. I want it to really be an outline. Right now it's overlapping with the chunk. Right here, line width 5. So this needs to be at -5, -5, doodle doodle doodle, plus 2.5, I guess. Not sure about that. Seems wrong. Oop. Ah, the y-axis is... Oh no. Yeah, it does seem a bit wrong. It's going too far. 2.5. Gosh, I am getting hungry. Might have to stop streaming sometime soon. Ah, that seems to outline it without overlapping. Good. So I'm going to add a polygon over here. Right on the edge. Good, good. And then if I have a polygon right here, right within this edge. Oh, that's my first time testing that. Select this polygon, which is in the first chunk. Move to the other chunk, it deselects. Select this oh. That's odd. What the hell is happening there? I must be setting chunk active to 0. Chunk active equals 0. Yeah. Get rid of that. Alright, so we want a new chunk in this over here. Now we can select it and move it. And as soon as I move to the other chunk, oh yeah. Gorgeous. So each chunk, when I create it, something in my eye. Damn eyelashes, they keep all sorts of stuff out of my eye. And then they go and fall in there. Little bastards. Alright. When we, where, okay, right here. When we initialize this chunk, we shall add a polygon to it. Und this polygon, because I can't initialize the array to 0, can I? Wait, can I? I think I already tried that, didn't I? And it didn't work. Did it? Well, maybe it did. Wow, it did. I can just initialize it to 0. Brilliant. Brilliante. That's how they say it in Spain, right? Spain, the land of speaking Spanish. Everybody knows. So if I put this down here, that's not what I meant to happen. What the hell just happened there? Oh, no, no, no. It's creating new polygons, new vertices, when I do not want them. Oh my god, this is a disaster. What the hell is happening? Here I thought things were just going swimmingly. I think I know what's happening though. When creating a new vertex, we're testing for creating a new vertex before we're testing for dragging a vertex. Vertex dragging equals false. Vertex dragging equals true, and click handled, right? Yeah, I just need to check click handled right here. Okay. Maybe that'll do the trick. So I'm gonna mount a polygon down here and a polygon over here. And this one's gonna be something like this. Oh, this is grand. Actually, I want a flat section down here. So that's gonna have to be like that. Then I'll move this one over here. Have a slope. What? That's not quite correct. Maybe every time I move a vertex, it should recalculate to keep things convex. There's an idea. Sounds pretty good. So whenever I move a vertex dragging, update column. So right here I need to do editor. Polygon is convex, polygon order, vertices clockwise. Polygon order, vertices clockwise. Game data chunks active, chunk active. Dot polygons selected polygon, and then KDA top of that. So now I'm just like testing out the level editing experience here. That's actually good. I want this one down here. What the hell? I have two. That is really strange. That is very strange. What the hell? This is clearly not clockwise. What the bloody hell? Okay. Something is severely messed up around here. Oh my god. I don't know how that's happening. So that clearly needs fixing. My god! What the flim flam? Can I? Okay, I can get it like that. Alright, add a new chunk. So maybe those collisions will work even though those polygons are messed up. When I add a new chunk, I want to bring in a new polygon. And good god. Yep, sure, let's just do it like that. That is not even convex! It's not even convex and it's not detecting it. Okay, well. Oh my god. This is a tragedy. How did this all go wrong? How did my life go wrong? This one's working. Good god. Oh dear. Collision doesn't even... Oh yeah, because it's only checking against chunk 0, I guess. Well, I need to... Okay. Okay. Where do we do the game? Movement logic, that's in play. Everything that says chunk 0. I need to decide on the relevant chunks. So, in main, way up the top, chunk left and chunk right. Yeah, pretty much right up here. Then player movement equals that. Sure. Base polygon, movement back. Okay, now for int c chunk equals 0, chunk equals chunk left, chunk less than or equal to chunk right plus chunk. So we check each chunk. Chunks, chunk, deedle doodle daddle, chunk, chunk. Alright, so now the player's collisions should work against polygons in a different chunk. You know what, I'm just going to line these up manually like that. Well, there you go. Collisions in a separate chunk. Okay, so now that that's done, I can get back to fixing this horrible disaster of polygon vertex editing. Because good gravy, that is a complete travesty. Oh my god. I just saw that I had an email, so I was like, I'll quickly check if it's anything important, and I want to tell you what it is. It's from Anonymous Hacker. And and the title is ******************************************** spam *********** important. You have been recorded masturbating. I have contact.mp4. Oh dear. They want me to send them bitcoins within 72 hours. Or else. All my friends will see this video of me when I visited an adult site. Oh no. I'm gonna send this guy. How much does he want? Wait, I'm trying to find out. 2,000 USD. 0.1961574 bitcoins. I must send it as soon as possible, or my reputation will be destroyed. Well, I better end the stream right now and get right on that, guys. So, my apologies for quitting the programming at the moment, but clearly I have important things to take care of, like finding a way to make 2,000. Please donate to my fundraiser. I need 2,000 USD to save me from my shame. Anyway, I don't get those spam emails. How anyone could fall for them and why anyone bothers sending them, but I guess someone has to fall for them for them to bother running the email server to send them. Agitating. Anyway, my polygon editing. So maybe the trouble is updating the vertices order while dragging it. In fact, when we release the button, we need to update that. If vertex dragging, then do this. Okay, so can I make some polygons now and edit them reasonably? Ah, look at that. Works like a charm. Make a new chunk. New polygon. Oh. See, now we can see that that polygon is intruding on the other chunk a little bit. Not that it matters. So other chunk. Put a polygon here. Let's make it a slope. You know what? Let's make it a totally wacky slope. That's not that wacky. Alright, fine. Now we go in. Do. Oh, get stuck right there a little bit. Hoi. That's interesting. I can pop over it by holding the button down. That is very strange. That definitely looks like the kind of polygon you should be able to just zip right over. So I wonder if I lower the edge of that. Yeah, that makes it work better. Yeah. Now I'm thinking, unless you push the jump button, you should lock to the edge that you're on, depending on the angle. But I guess I can take care of that later. I'm also thinking I should adjust the camera scrolling coordinates and the player drawing coordinates, because you're getting sub-pixels going on. You just look at this right here, these two lines that overlap. As I walk around and get into, decimal value pixel positions, they look really weird. And this is a pixely game, but that said, I guess it will look fine when I'm scaling sprites up, probably. So I can address that later. Probably having a sub-pixel scrolling camera is more valuable than having, well, but I'm scaling the game to a pixel-perfect resolution so that my pixels stay square. So perhaps I should be drawing the game pixel perfect. Let's just see what integer camera scrolling looks like. Well, the player needs to now be drawn on an integer. Oh. I'll just do translate I, right? Does that work? Translate D. Is D the integer? Nope. Or maybe it is and it's just horrible. OpenGL translate integer. Who knows? I'll just try, I'll leave this as F and I'll give this an integer. Whoops, what the hell happened? I pushed some kind of hotkey in 4Coder, I guess. Okay, so now it's not blipping horribly. But the problem is, well, I guess things won't blip horribly. But if I get the camera moving smoothly, then things will jut around per pixel, and it won't look very nice. So for now, I'm going to keep... Why is this duplicated? Maybe I just did that. I'm going to keep sub-pixel scrolling, even though I have pixel-perfect scaling, which will result in some weirdness, I imagine. But I can always edit it later. Yeah, I think it'll be best to keep sub-pixel scrolling so that it's all smooth in the gameplay. Well, I guess it's time to start loading and saving so that I can actually start editing a world together and then work on the gameplay. Add, entities, enemies and coins and power-ups and all that stuff. Gosh, this game development is just rocketing along. Just rocketing along. I need to take 1 second to check on something before I continue. Okay. Moving on. Saving and loading. Let's do it. I feel like this should at least go in it. Well, it can just go in the editor, I guess. But I'll put it way down the bottom, outside of the function. So, bool save level. I guess that's it. Game data t star game data. And for now I'm just going to be working on the 1, so I'll just have 1 level. I won't bother with naming it and all that stuff. Save level and load level. Okay, saving. What are we gonna? We're gonna need a file. File star OF equals fopen level dot, I don't know, Super Kero land. Super Kero level. Yeah, that's not bad. Not a bad file extension. Right. Or right. Right. RITE. Okay. And then we need to if close. Then if not of, then return false. This is the kind of thing. File operations are where you wish C had a defer and error defer. Those are 2 of the things I'm really looking forward to when I pick up Zig. Defer and error defer. Oh man. Because it's gonna get hellish. We would just defer fclose, and then whenever the function exits, fclose would be called. So wait, don't I have a read file thing? Is it in standard? Yeah, case standard read file. But I'm writing, so we'll use this next time though. I need all the chunk information. So I guess we should have a name. So I need to get my book, and also I need to take a quick break, so I'll be right back. I'm back and I'm going to grab my book. And that book is The C Programming Language by my boys Brian Kernighan and Dennis Ritchie. Rip Dennis. Now, where's the index here? Need to look up the fread and other file operation stuff. File access, page 242. 242, file operations. Open text file for reading, create text file for writing, discard previous context. That's W. Yep. Okay. Remove, rename. Okay. Formatted output. Fprintf. Yes. Yeah, I should probably use fprintf. That'll probably be good. VFprintf. Oh, array list. Okay, now fscanf, that's for reading. There's an fwrite as well. I think you write bytes with that. Character input and output functions. Fgetc, fputc, fputs, put the string on stream. So fgetS reads at most the next n-1 characters into the array, stopping if a new line is encountered. Fputs. Getc, getchar, getS. Fwrite writes a bunch of bytes. And okay. Good. Alright. So I think I think fputs or maybe fprintf would be what I want to use. I don't have a table over here with me, so that is just going to go on my lap. Okay, so let's do fprintf. And the name of the level shall be Nikki Nuna's Great Level /n. So that's the format of our file here. Although I wonder if I should write in binary to save data. I don't know. Perhaps leaving it text editable and then all the code for the game will be open source will make it easier for people to edit levels and that way people can post a level in text mode. They can like copy paste it onto a forum or something. Oh shit, I need to get rid of that. Be right back. If you're on a web forum, you can, just select the text contents of your level file and paste them in your forum post. And be like, guys, play my level. And then people can just copy paste that into a level file, load it up into the game. So that'll be good. Okay, so we've got Nikki Nuna's Great Level. Wonder if I should print the title of the level above the game view as you're playing. I'll probably do that. So maybe game data needs more level data, something like that. Main. So game data shall have a struct. Well, I think I'll make this struct up here. Level T. And level T should have some chunks. Chunk T star chunks. And it should also have a char star name. And in here I should go level T level. Alright, and then here I shall output modulo S. Whoops. And it shall be game data level name. And we're going to just initialize that over here. So game data dot level dot name equals malloc 64 and game data dot level copy game data dot level dot name Nikki new Nas great level. Okay, with an exclamation mark. With two exclamation marks. Oh yeah, this is a good level. This is gonna be good. Okay, so game data dot chunks. Game data dot chunks needs to be game data dot level dot chunks. And game data arrow chunks needs to be game data arrow level dot chunks. And I need to edit that in play. Game data chunks, game data level chunks. And in editor, very good. Oops. Okay. Game data level dot name. Then what else does the level contain? The level contains a bunch of chunks. So I guess we'll I'm gonna format this text file nicely. Chunks modulo d/n and kda top game data level dot chunks. Then what else do we need here? All the chunk data, which for now chunk now I need to go into a loop for int c equals 0. C is less than. This should be size. And actually this should be size, shouldn't it? Plus plus C. Fprintf. Chunk. Modulo D. C. What the hell was that? Oh. Well, unfortunately, I had some things I knew were going to happen today. Fortunately and unfortunately. Fortunately in a way, and unfortunately for the programming in the stream. Those things are beginning in about 10 minutes. So I need to end the stream right here. I'm right in the middle of this too. That's unfortunate. But oh well. Thank you for hanging out, anyone who was watching. I hope maybe if you're programming, having me on was useful to you or something. And well, I don't know. I'll just let you know if anyone's here. I'm super casual about streaming. I'm not, trying to be a streamer or anything, so whatever, you can follow if you want to, and you can watch me again if you want to, but I just stream to be social and to keep myself on task with programming because it's too easy to tab out to a YouTube video when I'm programming, but if I'm streaming, I can't do that, so very helpful. Anyway, I won't be on next Wednesday because, well, I don't know if I should say what it is, but it's a special occasion. And I've got the whole day booked. Okay. So anyway, final look at the game before I go. We went from not even being able to edit the polygons in one chunk correctly to having multiple chunks with brilliantly editable polygons. Actually, that was just not very good. But anyway. Okay. Still got some fixing to do on that front. But whatever. I'll do that after I do the saving and loading. See you probably in 2 weeks. Oh, and hey, Cake Nass, Angel on it. Thanks. Yeah. Possibly, probably, well, if you guys are back, I'll be back anyway. In 2 weeks is when I'm going to probably stream again, so. Anyway. Cheers. You just got here? Sorry about the timing, Angel. I mean, I know it won't be interactive, but if you're really craving that C game programming content, you can watch the stream archive if you want. I know Twitch is all about live, though, so I'm just being silly. Catch you later.